Good morning, welcome back. I'm Phil from Phil's Camping Reviews. Today we're going to talk about jockey wheels, in particular this one here. Why do I have a brand new one sitting in a box here when my camper trailer actually came with one? And in fact, the one that's on my camper trailer was only around 2 months old when I purchased the camper trailer about 5 weeks ago. So it's relatively new. I've been having some issues with my camper trailer of late, in line of one side is setting up higher than the other. Whoopsie doosy. It's turned out the issue I was having was to do with my XO750. Good buddy of mine was here for the last weekend for a few days. Thank you, Terry, for all the help, and Robin and little Molly that you've done for me over the last few days. They helped me replace the wheel bearings on my camper trailer. And then one thing I noticed, the jockey, the XO750 on my trailer, I've always noticed it always seems to be on an angle. I thought that was just the way they were. So I didn't think too much of them really. I thought, gosh, that's weird. You know, why are people rating these so high when they just seems to be so loose? It's always on an angle. And we found out there's a lot of play. Where it pivots, I'll show you later with these XO750 jockey wheels from ARK. There's a lever you pull out and you can turn it around and pivot. So that's storage mode when you're driving along, so it's flat. So you don't have to remove it and find somewhere to store it like a lot of the old jockey wheels used to be. Where it pivots, there's a lot of play there. So because it was really loose, that as soon as you got a bit of load in it, on my case only 170 kilos, because that's all the ball weight that's on that, is approximately 170 kilos. Now these are designed to handle up to 750 kilos. And I was wondering, geez, how could they do that? The way this thing bends is just so awkward. And what's been happening, because it's so loose, the suspension on these Modcons, 2 shockeys on each side, independent, and coil springs, and quite a fair bit of travel. So they're kind of set to a softer rating, ideal if you're on a rough road, etc. It's a nice smooth ride. So that twist that XO750 was causing, being so loose, which was actually exaggerating, it was going through the whole camper trailer, whole chassis, causing this twist. So one side would sit higher than the other side. So we did an experiment. We got one of my jack stands and placed it centralized in the middle and took the weight off the jockey wheel, and guess what? The trailer sat level. It wasn't tilting over anymore. So I've got all the paperwork that was supplied with this, and plus any maintenance that was done on this. So it's got a full service history over the past 6 years, because it's 6 years old. And inside there was the docket, an Anaconda docket for the ARK 750. So yesterday morning at 9 AM, I phoned my nearest Anaconda store, which is about 130 k's away in Hervey Bay. Terry reckons this is not normal. I spoke to Rob and he told me it's not normal. He doesn't seem to have that problem. It's very unusual. I've got nothing to lose. I called Anaconda. I told him about the problem. The guy I spoke to seemed to have known what I was talking about, because he told me there was a batch where they drilled the holes too big, which caused a lot of play, and it caused that problem I had. So he told me, I suspect you might have one of those. Bring it in and we'll check it, we'll compare it for a new one, and we will replace it. So that's what I did yesterday. but for some reason, where it pivots, it is extremely loose. And he looked at it and he said straight away, yeah, no, mate, I said, I can understand why it's twisting your trailer. Yeah, that's no good. Yep, just replace it, just replace. So they replaced it. So here we are the next day. So I thought, why not do a video on it? So let's go install this. Now in saying that, I've never installed one of these before, but it doesn't look too difficult. So let me go grab the manual and let's go start putting this together, and I'll show you how these arrive in the box. I've got the trusty destruction manual, so I call it, and looks like it's fairly simple install. First thing we got to do is assemble the wheels together. Now there is a proper procedure to that. I'm going to show you that. Once we've done that, then we basically mount it straight to the bar on my camper. So we've got an accessory, it's got the handle. We've got some bolts here, 2 bars. Next, we've got another box. It's got the wheels. Now we're going to need to install the wheels. Oh, very tight fit, and I tell you what, it's got a little bit of weight to it. It's heavy. So, all right, get me muscles out. So first thing we need to do, as it is supplied out of the box, we need to remove this, making sure we do not lose any of these washers, any of these bearings. And there's 3 washers. Grab first wheel, place a bearing inside the first wheel. Just tap it a couple of times. We need to first add a washer. Then we add the wheel. Then we add a washer, then we add the other wheel. And then we've got to add another washer. Got it. We've got a lock nut. You want to tighten it up enough so the wheels are still spinning freely. I think that looks pretty good to me. There is no play. Let's go to the drawbar and see how we mount this onto the drawbar. So you need to first get a measurement of your drawbar. Mine is 2 inches wide. It says in the instructions if it's wider than 2 inches, then you have to get longer bolts. They've got certain mounting points corresponding to how high your drawbar is. So I'm going to wind this up. These bolts through here first. Now we'll get the bolts through on the other side, remembering it's the middle ones down on the bottom here. Attach these bars in. Torque setting 70 Nm. Now the big test. Let's go back, have a look and see if the trailer's level. Looks level to me. One more maintenance job successfully complete. I'm looking from behind the trailer and I'm happy to say I do not notice that lean anymore. That has rectified that issue. Who would have figured that that problem was from a jockey wheel? That the jockey wheel was that loose that it on an angle, and then that transferred through the whole chassis of the trailer. Hence, one side was just over 2 inches higher than the other side. How crazy was that? And here we were at one stage thinking whether it might have been the springs, or even thought it might have been the sidewall of the tyre beginning to perish. But that's not the case. I tell you what, guys, we're in this time of the year where daytime is quite warm and nighttime is practically almost freezing. So, oh, hate that. You don't know whether to put a jumper on or not. It's crazy. In fact, the story, when I went to Canberra, I've been to Canberra a few times in the middle of winter. I think the place is just absolutely stunning with the colours, especially at autumn, guys, autumn. Around the Blue Mountains, Katoomba as well, autumn, it's beautiful when the colours of the leaves changes. It's like someone got a paintbrush and just painted it. It's like, it really is a postcard scene. It really is. You take a photo and you got an A1 postcard that you can send to someone, except it's a photo that you've taken. So they really do exist. These postcard scenes really do exist. But going back to Canberra, it brought me back to the time where you'd wear these really thick coats. But as soon as you go inside somewhere, you cannot get them off quick enough. And then you walk around the shopping centre, with your arm full of these big thick coats, and then as soon as you walk out, the coat's got to go back on. You just had to, guys, you just had to. It was that cold outside. But inside the shops, the house, the museums, the heating system they use inside those, in accommodation and buildings and that in Canberra, it's just absolutely amazing. Absolutely incredible. So, same in Katoomba. So, I'm going to call it a that. Got something in my eye here. Just bear with me. And I'll call that a success. So stay tuned for more videos, guys. I'm going away camping soon, and I'm going to do a lot of videos on this camper trailer, including setup, pack away, setting up the awnings, the 2 different annexes I've got, showing you. I'm going to do a video on the hot water system as well. Any questions you wanted to know about anything you've seen today's video, ask away. I'll do the best to answer. And thanks for watching. Until next time, mate, be kind everyone. And go out camping, enjoy yourself. Cheers.